Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Combat Sports Double N Heavy Bag, also known as the Peanut Bag. So check it out. Alright guys, so before I do the review on this Combat Sports Double N Heavy Bag, I wanted to give you guys a close-up, starting from the top to the bottom. So starting at the top, I actually already opened up the zipper just to show you the content of what's inside. So it's essentially just, it looks like torn up rags or clothes that they fill this bag up with. The bag itself is manufactured in Pakistan and it utilizes a synthetic outside casing. The dimensions on it are 15 by 34 by 12. So 15 is going to be the diameter right here on the large portion of the bag, and 34 is going to be the height of the bag from the very top to the bottom of the bag. It does have 4 nylon straps that have a metal D-ring that connects to the top. I just left these loose for now just so you guys can see the construction. The straps are stitched into the top portion of the bag. So you have 4 of those total. You have the Combat Sports logo right here, Combat Sports International. Essentially it's a ringside brand. You can see the actual material is a synthetic. It has kind of a semi-gloss finish. And I called this the peanut bag because it's kind of shaped like a peanut. And it's really good for uppercuts and hooks. The midsection right here kind of has this quilted design with the stitching, again more synthetic as midsection. And then you have this lower portion right here that's about 12 inches in diameter. And then the very bottom of the bag also has a metal D-ring or triangle piece right here, and that you can attach an anchor to it if you want to keep this a little bit more stationary. So here you have it. It is 45 pounds, so it's relatively lightweight. So really good for those of you that want to work on mobility and working around the bag. So let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Combat Sports International Double N Heavy Bag, or what I like to call it, the Peanut Bag. This retails for $149 through the Ringside Boxing website. Combat Sports International is basically just a sub-brand of Ringside Boxing. Specs on this bag is that it weighs 45 pounds, so it's relatively lightweight, which is great if you want to work on defense, mobility, slipping, bobbing, and weaving. The height of the bag is 34 inches from the top to the bottom of the bag, 15 inches in diameter around this portion of the bag, and then the lower portion is 12 inches in diameter at the very bottom here. It is made in Pakistan and it utilizes a synthetic outside casing. Basically, it's like a really high quality vinyl, pretty much similar to what you would find in any of the other synthetic heavy bags from Title or even a Ringside. So very similar to that. The reason I got this bag is because I've always used traditional heavy bags. I know you guys have seen that nozzle bag in a lot of my videos. That bag weighs 135 pounds. It's great for relatively anything you could throw at it. You know, all your punches, especially your power shots. But because of the weight, it's relatively stationary. I mean, it will move and swing, but you can't really work your movement like you can with a bag that's only 45 pounds like this one here. I'm about 5'8", and for the sake of saying my weight, I'm about like 150 pounds. So you can see sizing wise how this compares to my upper body, my torso. That way you guys can kind of get an idea of how big this bag is. It's kind of deceiving when you think of 45 pounds. In your mind, you kind of think, okay, it's something going to be smaller than this, but it's actually a pretty nice size. The other thing, the real reason I got this bag is that I wanted to work on my uppercuts and hooks while being able to use this for like slipping, moving, and using my footwork to work around it. So you can see it's called the peanut bag for the reason, obviously it's shaped like a peanut, but you have this upper portion where you can work on your straight shots. So, you know, obviously your jabs and your straights, your crosses. You can also work your hooks, but you also have this portion right here where you can really dig in your uppercuts And then you have the lower portion here too, where you can also work on hooks as well. The lower portion of the bag, which I can lift, it also has this metal D-ring or triangle ring at the bottom that's stitched in with that piece of nylon. So if you want to anchor it to the floor, you can do so if you don't want it to move. So there's that option as well. It being only 45 pounds is really great because of how light it is. Another cool thing is, I know this maybe for more of those that are into like mixed martial arts, grappling, or working on groundwork. I've seen some people actually use this almost like a grappling dummy. It's only 45 pounds, so you can actually unhook it from the ceiling or wherever you have it mounted, and you can actually use it to kind of like carry, and you can do, you know, conditioning drills with this. Toss it behind you, kind of throw it in front of you because it weighs 45 pounds. So it's kind of like a dual purpose. You can use it to punch, kick, and you can also use it as kind of like a conditioning tool, like a 45-pound dummy. You can kind of roll it. You can do whatever you want with this. I mean, it's a really versatile bag that you can use. Now, I showed you guys earlier in the close-up, it does have a zippered opening up top. It is filled with you know, torn up rags or clothing, and then it has these 4 nylon straps on the top portion of the bag with the metal D-ring up top, which will clip into whatever you're going to mount it to. It does have the Combat Sports International on the front right here. So you have 2 spots with Combat Sports International. The stitching, the quality of the bag is pretty good. I've had it for a while now. It's been part of my rotation. It does have this kind of quilted design right here, and the synthetic on this feels a little bit thinner and cheaper. I'm not a big fan of all the stitching because you can start to see that the stitching on this portion right here is starting to unravel a little bit. So the fact that they have so many stitching lines to give it that diamond quilted look, I can definitely foresee that the more I use that over time, it's really going to start to rip, especially when you're starting to land the uppercuts in this portion of the bag. And then you have the bulb at the bottom. The consistency of the padding and the softness, I'd say it's right in the middle. It's definitely not as stiff as that nozzle bag. For those of you guys that have ever hit one of those, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's right in the middle. I would say that it's pretty close to like the Title Boxing soft strike bag in terms of the consistency of the padding. And I'm just kind of show you guys. You can see that the padding kind of sinks in when you punch it, which is really nice because you don't have to worry about it injuring yourself. And if you use this barehanded, you can actually use it and not feel like you're going to injure your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on and just show you guys how this bag works in terms of how it moves. You know, that's really what you guys are looking for in terms of the movement of the bag. So you can see at 45 pounds, you can still hit it with all your straights off, your jabs and your cross. No problem. There's definitely weight behind the bag, but you can start to see that it swings quite a bit too. So you can work on movement, you know, uppercuts, hooks. So it's perfect for really digging those shots in and being mobile. You can work on your defense, speed work, head movement. Let it swing a little bit, and kind of slip it, pivot out, slip the bag, hit with the hook. Kind of a hybrid between a hook and an uppercut. One good thing is the bottom of the bag doesn't feel harder than the top, like this portion and this portion. Sometimes you get bags that have settling and all the material from the bag starts to kind of drop to the bottom of the bag, and I haven't had any issues with that yet. So I know a lot of people, including myself, hate that feeling of you're working great and kind of in this middle section of the bag, and then you'll launch like a hook to the body, and then it feels like you're hitting a concrete wall. You don't have that issue with this. You know, you're definitely not going to get the same stationary feel as like a 100 to 130 pound heavy bag, but that's the whole purpose behind this, is that you can work on movement more and it being a little bit more mobile rather than just sitting there. have fun with it. So you can see, man, this is an amazing bag, in my opinion. I think it's a perfect shape, perfect weight at 45 pounds. You can really work your movement, head movement, and I feel like it's a great change of pace bag. If you're used to just using a traditional cylindrical heavy bag and you want to switch it up and get yourself another punching bag, heavy bag, whatever you want to call it, this is definitely a great alternative to that. I've had a lot of fun with this bag just because of the shape and the mobility of it, being able to move it around. It's a great addition to any gym, in my opinion. Even at the price point of 149 bucks. I know that Ringside does a ton of different sales, anywhere between 20, 30 to 40% off. So I'm sure you can get a great deal on this. You do have to pay a little bit more for shipping because of the weight of the bag, because it comes pre-filled. So they don't actually sell this unfilled. They only sell it as a filled bag. But again, if you can strike a discount with it, I definitely think it's well worth it and a great bag to add to your rotation. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can get this Combat Sports double end heavy bag. And I'll see you guys next time.